Welcome back to round number 3 here on Modern Mondays at Guardian Games in Portland, Oregon. I am Travis Cooper from Portland Paper, hanging out with,
Tim Chan.
and we're watching some Paper Modern here. It looks like we've got Wilderness Teachings with Sam Schaefer piloting that deck versus Ben Williams on Hardened Scales. So it should be an interesting matchup here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fairly new to the deck that Sam is playing, but I'm definitely interested. I'm definitely surprised to see this many standard cards in
It's
a new modern deck.
Yeah, it's definitely a 4 remand, 4 cryptic
Ooh.
deck, and looks like Hardened Scale is showing us hands,
So it's a
and
Mox Opal and
and it looks like that's a mulligan for Sam there.
yeah.
Um, Basically, Wilderness Teachings is trying to ramp up with Growth Spiral and cheat on mana, interrupt your opponent's early turns with Remand, you get Cryptic, eventually land Wilderness Reclamation, and then use that additional mana to hold up your counter spells,
Hmm.
be able to Blue Sun Zenith yourself, and then maybe eventually your opponent, and then cast Mystical Teachings to get whatever answer you need in a given matchup. Very slow. Usually the
Yeah.
deck wins with Creeping Tar Pit Snapcaster beats, but can also Blue Sun Zenith someone out of the game with stacking triggers with multiple
Yep.
Wilderness Reclamations. I love drawing cards. This deck's a little, even though I love drawing cards, it's a little bit slow for me.
Yeah.
So we have a turn 1 Inkmoth Nexus into an animation module for Ben. Animation module is able to have an activated ability for 1 colorless. If a card comes in with a 1/1 counter on it, you can pay 1 and create a 1/1 servo. Or you can tap 3 and the module to basically proliferate.
Wow. So Ben kept a one lander. He does have a Mox Opal, but he doesn't have any one mana or other zero mana creatures. Look.
Maybe getting
Okay.
a stirrings here. Oh, oh I really needed that
Ooh.
second mana.
Yeah.
Hangerback on 1. And it's gonna get a spell snare, which that feels pretty good for Sam because
Yeah.
basically you gotta eat a Mox Opal that could have been sacrificed down the line to Arcbound Ravager, or
Yeah.
used to ramp up to a 3-drop on turn 3, or a 4-drop on turn 3, something to
Yeah.
that effect.
And unfortunately for Ben, he's still missing a land. Oh, he. This must hurt. Wow.
We're
Okay.
doing the same thing. Oh, if
This
I had
is.
a remand,
I think he has a Snapcaster, so he can Snapcaster spell snare this.
when spell snare is good, spell snare
It
is
is really
so
good.
good.
Man, Ben is down to 1 or 2 cards left now.
Yeah, this Hardened Scales deck is pretty good at having some busted starts and then being really resilient to spot removal by being able to move counters or create a bunch of tokens, but you kind of need to have a threat down, and it's not super good at grinding. Karn is a card in the sideboard, but other than that, your only draw cards are Horizon Canopies. And Sam's deck is full of cards that draw more cards or have a 2-for-1 value, like Mystical Teachings. Where there's so many lines where I see someone cast a Mystical Teachings to get a Mystical Teachings. You're like, what is going on? Oh, wait, that's more cards that you get.
All right, Ben finally found the land, but
Steel Overseer. It's usually a target for removal. And it might just be a remand. Oh, nope,
oh,
Growth Spiral.
Sparrow. I don't think he has a remand. He does have Assassin's Trophy, another
Okay.
Snapcaster.
Okay, at this point you could always Teachings for a Fatal Push, if one was so inclined. Lots of 1-ofs in Sam's deck, but there are multiple copies of Fatal Push.
I'm definitely liking Sam's deck.
Yeah, I mean, it has a lot of sweet interactions. It is very slow, but in a control deck that's playing Cryptics where you have Growth Spiral and can like play lands at instant speed and ramp, that is doing a very powerful thing.
He's gonna use Assassin's Trophy instead.
Wow, giving Ben a land, which Ben probably feels all right with that. Has several leftovers in hand. So yeah, our basic rundown for this match.
I think we already agreed earlier. The unglueds are definitely, at least out of that series, our favorite basics.
Okay. We have island swamps. I bet there's a forest on Sam's
These are my
deck.
three. If you include Malin, they're you
Yeah.
know.
A ballista. Ballista resolves. Another 2-drop. Another overseer. Overseer can get pretty out of hand. Also, if Sam ever takes a point of infect, this animation module can be a slow way to win the game. And pushing the Overseer. Yeah, Welding Jar. One turn too late. Another Ballista on 1 here. And it's going to get a servo, so Ben's starting to go wide. Yeah, I like those Arcade Post tokens. All right, what are we getting with this mystical teachings? Do you think, Tim?
I don't know Sam's deck well enough. He is eyeing Abrupt Decay right now.
I feel like a lot of times you might just cast it so you can look through your deck and be like, what's really good right now?
Yeah. Okay.
It feels like the decks that have placed online are Sultai variants of this Wilderness Reclamation deck because of mystical teachings. But I feel like there's room for something like a, Rug Scape Shift variant. Just being able to play your Explorers at instant speed seems strong with Remands and Cryptics.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're tapping 4 for something.
Adding counter.
Adding counter, getting a servo. Continuing to go wide here. And Snapcaster down. Getting a Cryptic, tap and draw. There's a Blue Sun Zenith picked up for Sam, so that's currently a draw 3.
He still has a healthy life of 16. He could tap out, at the end of Ben's turn, draw 3 more cards.
You can also, flashing back teachings at some point to get a board wipe.
I imagine Sam's playing Damnation, right?
I think they're playing, there's that 5 mana instant speed board wipe that's in black that I think destroys all creatures with CMC 3 or less. I'm blanking on the name. It was in a blue-black control list as a 3 or 4 for a while, a couple months ago. But because it's an instant, you can get it with teachings, which mystical teachings gets you card with flash or an instant. So you want your board wipe to be instant speed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we've run out of our 2d2s here. Consume the Meek. Is that it? Let's look it up on Gather here.
All right.
We have technology. And Arcbound Worker, we're getting a mystical teaching flashback. Yes, thank you very much. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name in chat, but yeah, you're right. Consume the
Yeah.
Weak is the card I was thinking of, and let's see if it's a card that Sam is thinking of as well.
Unfortunate thing is Sam only has one black source right now.
Nope, just a Fatal Push.
Sam does have the option of Snapcaster, Cryptic Command next turn. Tap the team down, fog a turn.
It's getting a little bit dicey here.
Yep.
It's a lot of mana for a Fatal Push. And Ben's gonna regenerate it.
Yeah, I think Sam's stuck on one black is kind of hurting him right now. And I don't think he has the 7th land to snap Cryptic.
So yeah, Snap Cryptic is 6 mana, but you definitely need 4 blue, which looks like we got plenty of here.
So Sam doing this during his turn?
Some shenanigans afloat.
Does he have another Fatal Push in hand?
Not sure what Sam was maybe outthinking themselves there, where they're like drawing and bouncing. It seems like that would have saved some life total to just let.
Tap the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fog a turn at least.
Because now we get to pump some ballistas. So it's attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Alright.
And that's a scoop. All right, a little bit of a misfire there
Yeah.
on Sam's side of things.
I think he was 1 mana short. Because I think he wanted to snap push the other Walking Ballista.
Okay. Still doesn't necessarily set you up into winning spot.
Oh
but
no.
I do kind of like the just tapping and drawing. All right, I'm going to game 2 here. I have no idea what's in Sam's
Yeah,
sideboard.
no idea. I expect at least a few artifact hate cards. I mean, we see Collective Brutality,
Some dispels.
Dispels, more Fatal Pushes.
Maybe a Cletus I think I saw in there.
Echoing Truths. I think that was a Spell Pierce maybe that just came in. There goes Echoing Truth. There's Ceremonious Rejection.
I would definitely side that card in.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly I'd assume they're going to be instants that you can grab with Mystical Teachings.
Yeah.
And on Ben's side, maybe Ben realizes this could be a pretty grindy matchup, so he might side in a card like Karn. Probably also going to side in some of your green enchantments to play against spot removal. Not quite sure which ones Ben is playing, but usually there's a mix of them. I kind of thought Sam was gonna pull ahead on that one. There was a lot of cryptics in hand, but maybe a little misstep there, and that did it. So yeah, both these players are pretty good and have played in the local area a lot. In fact, there was a 5K invitational a couple weeks ago that you like had to qualify for it through a couple of events and ended up playing that and played played Ben. I got to beat Ben in the Swiss, and I was feeling pretty good about that. And then we got to the top 8, and no one wanted to prize split. And I was first place going into top 8, and I thought the matchup was pretty good. I was on Jeskai Control Terminus, and I was playing against Ben on Hardened Scales, and just I think we both played well, but I had some pretty poor draws, and Ben had some pretty good ones, and also played really well too. And I got the payout was great, but not as much as I was hoping.
Yeah, hope probably a little more top heavy.
Yeah, I think it was like 250 or something if 8, and then it bumps up to around 500, and then it goes up to, I think the winner got, I think 2250 maybe, something like
Okay.
that. So,
Yeah.
but always nice to play in cash events.
Yes.
All right, Sam's keeping
Oh.
opening hand, and we get a mulligan from Ben.
Well, Sam's got at least 2 fatal pushes. Snapcaster, 3 lands, and opt. That's a great hand for Sam. He's gonna be able to deal with all of Ben's threats for quite a bit.
And I think Ben is on several evolutionary leaps, which is a green enchantment out of the board, which is pretty great when people are even against board wipes if you have green mana left up, but also very strong against spot removal.
Yeah, you can replenish your hand whenever they do plan on removing. I'm actually surprised this card hasn't seen because it did see some play in some of the elves decks when this first came out, and then it kind of fell off in modern for a while.
Yeah, it was in normal affinity, or I guess whatever you want to call the Mox Opal deck that doesn't play Hardened Scales. It also doesn't play affinity creatures.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's 1, 2 of sometimes in the sideboard of Hardened Scales. All right, there is the namesake card of the deck. Feels almost like an Aether Vial deck, where if you have a turn 1 Hardened Scales, the texture of the game plays out very differently than if you're just kind of playing fair.
Mm-hmm.
Although usually control decks have not played green. It's blue, black, red, and white, but the adding green is going to perhaps have some more implications for interesting removal when it comes to enchantments and artifacts as well.
Yeah.
I know we saw Abrupt Decay and Assassin's Trophy in the main deck.
Yep. And I do kind of like Growth Spire because it is a cantrip, but also lets you accelerate a little bit faster.
At instant speed, you can play lands on other people's turns. That's insane. All right. Fetch of a breeding pool there at the end step, and
Forest.
And usually Hardened Scales will run out something like a Steel Overseer as kind of removal bait, because it is a strong card if it lives, but it is one of the cards that you're all right if it doesn't survive, because it's not directly interacting with your Hardened Scales.
Sam drew Assassin's Trophy this last turn.
All right, a breeding pool tapped, so you have Water Grave and 2 breeding pools. Still not having that double black there. And a Hangerback Walker, which interacts pretty favorably with removal. 2 counters. And a Relic. Alright, we're going to get 2 Thopters off that Hangerback Walker.
That never feels good.
No. It's alright if you have some kind of mass removal to follow it up with, but yeah, it does feel like a bit of spinning your wheels there. You're using some mana and your opponent's basically not using any mana or cards and getting the same thing they started out with.
So you're gonna Assassin's Trophy that relic?
Might be thinking about just firing off a Snapcaster.
And Fatal Push now.
Yeah. Uh, Also feels like a win for Ben if that's the case. But when you're leveraging Snapcaster, Relic can be a pretty challenging card to figure out how to play around.
Yeah.
You kind of basically have to make your opponent go for it at a certain point. Okay, we get a Snapcaster and opt. So that's a way to at least get a card back.
Does the Sam have another Fatal Push in hand?
All right. Sam with 4 cards in hand. Ben currently, after playing that Pendlehaven, with 2 cards in hand. Just pumping a Thopter and attacking for 3. And Overseer pretty strong with these Thopters. I'm going to get an exile of a card from Sam's graveyard.
It was a nice top deck. He top decked that Fatal Push.
Sam not going to have any problems with colored mana this game either. Search for Azcanta is going to incentivize that relic to get used at some point. And pushing the Overseer. So I think Ben has 1 left over in hand.
Yep. I think
3 pushes were in Sam's graveyard, and 1 of them gets exiled. And Ben just going to keep coming in.
Yep.
So it's currently a 4-turn clock. Spell Snare goes in the yard. Pickup is a land. So Hangerback Walker was pretty good.
Yeah, really good in this matchup. Well, we haven't seen Mystical Teaching. We still don't know what board wipe Sam might be playing.
All right, Sam going down to 7. So we're getting kind of in danger territory with something like a Walking Ballista.
Yeah.
So Ballista on 2, which will come in with 3 counters. So,
I think I would have pulled that.
Pull the trigger on the trophy. Kind of have to deal with that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Sam doesn't kill the Ballista this turn, Ben's going to be able to pump it and... Yep, well, I think that's... I definitely would have used the trophy on the Ballista.
Unless he's waiting for the response for the trigger for
yeah.
Maybe chump with the Snapcaster.
Does seem like that's the plan.
Well, he's going for the pump now, actually, so you gotta pull the trigger now. He'll be down to 1.
Oh, that's a lot of mana.
Oh, it wasn't Assassin's Trophy.
Is that a Fracturing Gust?
Oh, wow.
That is pretty sweet. Okay, we're going to eat our words here. It looked very much like Assassin's Trophy from the booth, but instead we get a Fracturing Gust, which is sweet.
Okay.
All right, I've been taking care of his own board so that Sam doesn't gain quite that much life.
Okay.
We still get a Mox Opal and Hardened Skills.
And his own search for
Oh,
Escanta.
yep,
So, yeah, so he should gain 6 life.
4, I think, right? Because a
Uh,
relic was sacrificed.
well, his own search for Escanta.
Oh, right. Okay,
Yes,
you're
it's
right.
all, yeah.
6. That's a little bit sad to lose the search, but I would take that trade. Yeah,
Logic not. He's got plenty of mana, but now there's Ink Moth with a Pendle even.
Yep, that's a 5-turn clock. Gotta draw answers.
In fact, our old friend.
Quite the turn of events here. I was actually honestly a little bit sad that I thought this match was going to be over and we had 17 minutes left. I wanted
Yeah.
to see the Wilderness Reclamation deck do something pretty sweet. Which I think casting a Fracturing Gust is, I would consider that sweet. Ancient Stirrings here. And what is the pickup going to be?
Suspense.
Another Hangerback Walker. It was good the first time. Ben thinks it'll probably
Yeah.
be good the second time.
Does he tap out for a large Hangerback Walker?
We're gonna get a Logic Knot for 1, 2, 3,
4.
4.
Inkmoth will still come in for 2 Infect.
All right, we're up to 4 in fact. Gotta be a good one. I think Sam's just left also with an island in hand.
I think a Mystical Teachings would be really nice right about now.
Blue Sun Zenith wouldn't be bad.
So, ooh.
Oh. Kind of on the edge of my seat here.
Yeah. Okay, Evolutionary Leap.
All right, 6. So at least on Sam's side of the table, like Ben has drawn some decent cards, but they haven't.
Remy, Darksteel Citadels are indestructible. That's
true.
why they did not die to the Fracturing Gust.
Yep. Yeah, Fracturing Gust destroys. You don't even get to gain the life the way it's worded. Oh, I think
Ooh, there's Assassin's Trophy.
I think I almost wait.
Ooh.
I think I almost wait until end of turn to do that.
Yeah.
Because then you have to contend with whatever Ben finds off the top.
Yeah.
Or you can, if there's not another Infector, it's fine. Maybe going up to 8. Oh, well. Guess you got to do something. See an island and
it's a spell. I can't tell what it is.
Ravager's a good one.
Is that Spell Pierce? It's a Spell Pierce. Not looking good for Spell Pierce about this.
Second Ravager.
Ooh.
Whoa. Well. Time to draw a Snapcaster.
Yeah. Yeah. He's out 2 Snapcasters.
I think the deck plays 3.
Oh. I think that was a Mystical Teaching.
Alright, count mana here.
1 mana short of extra turn. Does he have another Fracturing Gust in hand? Or in his library?
I kind of doubt it, but you can get Snapcaster with Mystical Teachings, or you can maybe get the Consume the Meek, which I imagine is still in there. I'm also making a lot of assumptions here that Sam has been playing that card. All right, animation module, that gets really dicey with Sam at infect here. I think Sam's at 6 infect. The module can add infect counters for 3 mana each turn. All right, we're going big here. This is quite the loop here. You can
Yeah.
keep generating servos and sacrificing. It is even more ridiculous when you have a Hardened Scales out.
Been thinking maybe he had Hardened Scale there. So Ben's probably gonna be able to 5, 8.
The servos interact extremely favorably with Evolutionary Leap as well. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of additional damage here. So we're at 8 right now.
Oh, so that's gonna be 10. He's gonna be able to do 12. Actually, he's gonna have 13.
I think Ben might just be going for it.
Yeah.
Definitely opening himself up to being blown out, though.
Yes.
That was a really fast teachings.
What is? Oh, it is consume the meek. Oh. And he's tapped out green mana, so evolutionary leap is pointless here.
The crowd goes wild. I felt a little catharsis there. Okay. Sam is kind of in the driver's seat at this point.
Yeah, so you should be able to flashback.
I think you can get Blue Sun Zenith maybe if Ben doesn't do anything too threatening this turn. Still Overseer, it's not that threatening.
Can he flashback twice this turn, or is he 1 mana short? Yeah, he's 1 mana short to flashback twice.
I think that I can't quite see all of Sam's graveyard. I think there might just be one teachings in there. Oh. Oh. Pretty heads up play there. I feel like I kind of would have gotten a little bit more greedy if I was Sam and gone for Blue Sun Zenith with one of those teachings.
Yeah, I mean, you're still a healthy 13. You need to be drawing more cards.
And you know that your opponent is just going to use Leap to... Yeah, I mean, it is kind of fun to be like chaining spells into spells, but I feel like you could have chained that into a lot more cards.
Yes. Do you remember what creature Ben revealed?
It was a Ravager.
Okay, it was a Ravager.
I love drawing cards. I'm like, why aren't you?
I think
it's probably not the correct
yeah.
line, but I'm just like, oh my, you could draw so many cards.
No, but I think
salivating.
you're in a good position where you should get Blue Suns. You have so much mana. Ben isn't doing too much. He sacrificed a lot of his artifacts already. I think you just let Ben do whatever he wants for a turn and just draw a bunch of cards.
Yeah, that Fatal Push didn't. Don't want to be too critical, but that Fatal Push using mystical teachings to get a push didn't seem like
most efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anything, I probably would have went Snap, get Fracturing Gust back, and at least get rid of Evolutionary Leap and Incubation. Maybe that's what he's going for this turn.
Okay. I feel like Snap and Gust is probably, I mean, hard to go wrong with that, too.
Yeah.
Also, Sam's going to have to win a game.
Yeah, he's kind of running out of time.
That is a critique I've had of this teachings deck, where I've seen it played in like 4 different events at this point in time. And I feel like they've all, each event I've gone to, the teachings deck has at least gone to turns once, if not more than once. So this Gust seems alright, but Ben is going to be able to sacrifice a lot of things to Evolutionary Leap and kind of refill the hand, which is sort of why I liked the Blue Sun Zenith line earlier.
Well, Sam still has one more Mystical Teachings in his graveyard.
It's true.
And I mean, we could see Snap, either Fracturing Gust or Consume the Meek, and then Mystical Teachings again.
Yeah, I think Fracturing Gust is only going to gain Sam
2 life, probably.
maybe 2 life, yeah.
Yeah. Well, with Walking Ballista on the stack, I think this is where you have to react, because you don't want to be able to.
No.
Yeah.
That's you got to do it now.
Especially Ben only tapping 2 to cast the Walking Ballista. Yeah, and you should have enough to flashback that Mystical Teachings. So actually wondering how many creatures Ben has left in his deck also.
Oh, there
There's
goes that card.
Graph Diggers.
You see some sideboard cards here. Cage actually seems pretty good, and Ballista is a decent pickup. One of those Ballistas is on the stack, one is in hand, Ben.
Yeah, if I was Ben, I'd start sacrificing. Yeah. I'm really wondering how many creatures Ben has left in his deck at this point.
I think there's 3 Ballistas, so that's 3 Fireballs Ben has right now.
But he's down to only 6 mana.
How many cards also does Ben have left in the deck?
I don't know if Sam's aware of how much time is left in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that if you're playing the deck, that is a resource you're used to trying to manage.
Oh.
I like finally. I will give, just let everyone know that I've not played Wilderness Reclamation deck, and don't trust me for the correct lines, but if there's ever an option of drawing cards or not drawing cards, I'm usually choosing to draw cards.
That.
Ballista blocked and got bumped with Pendlehaven, which gives it +1/+2.
Oh, +2. I forget about the 2 toughness part. I'm only thinking about infect damage.
I think we're out of Snapcasters for Sam as well, and we might even be out of teachings. I think both 3 of each have been used, and I think that is the extent of those cards in the deck.
And unfortunately for Creeping Tar Pit, he could just pump Walking Ballista and kill Creeping Tar Pit also. So Sam doesn't have a clear race. Oh, that's a new card also from Core 19.
So Sam drawing 9 cards here. So interesting thing with Blue Suns is you're not going to deck yourself.
Ooh, Echoing Truths. Oh, we finally found the namesake card of the deck.
Oh, okay, here we go. We have 5 mana floating.
Yeah. Infernal Reckoning, okay. I don't know if they even have enough time.
All right. We have 1 minute left here. 57 seconds, 56, 55, 54. Don't think we're going to get... I don't even think you can get the Nutty Infect draw here.
They play very fast, but
we have some fans and foes of Wilderness Reclamation in the chat here, and
oh yeah, that mulligan's gonna kill the time for Ben. Any chance of winning, even with 3 turns,
in this situation too, I feel like you don't slow play shuffling, but you're allowed to take your time shuffling.
Yeah.
You shouldn't feel rushed to not sufficiently randomize your deck.
Yeah. I don't think that was intentional by Sam in any way. I'm just saying, time-wise.
Yeah. Turn 2.
He may have it. No.
I feel like you're kind of on some kind of... Oh.
Well, Ben played land already this turn. Yeah, so he doesn't have any real way to kill Infect. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much Ben needed to play
the... Okay, yeah, that's going to be a draw.
Yeah.
All right, that's something that we got through 2 games of Magic there and started a 3rd, barely. But we have another round of Modern here, and we might even get 2 matches in, but we're just going to step out and see what the pairings are, but we should be back here in a couple minutes. Okay.